Hello and welcome to YOGA30. This is my month-long yoga program. I'm Sam and I'm thrilled that you've made the choice to be here, committing to movement, mindfulness, your practice, whatever that looks like for 30 days. So this program is designed to just get you moving. I notice the biggest change in my physical and mental state when I give myself roughly 20 to 30 minutes of movement that helps support everything else that I love to do. So whether you are just looking to get kind of motivated to develop that type of routine, or you're looking to supplement what else you have going on in your life and any specific goals you're working towards, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. And so we can all support each other through movement, through mindfulness, and whatever else these next 30 days want to throw at us. Each week is going to be a little bit different. Each day is definitely going to be different. So we're going to have a new sequence every day, but throughout the week we're going to kind of focus on the same thing. So week 1 is all about building that foundation. So whether you have a strong yoga practice already, or you're just trying to understand postures or how your body kind of interweaves into them in its own way, this week we're just really focusing on stacking everything up, on building that core integration and letting ourselves put one foot in front of the other, one day at a time. Daily movements that we perform on a regular basis, hopefully for the longevity of our lives. So, if you can't tell by now, I'm really into that. Let's get you into it. Let's start in a tabletop position. So spreading those fingertips nice and wide, tucking through the toes, just find that neutral space. And we're just going to start to sync our movement with our breath. So take an inhale, and on your exhale, just send the hips back, lean the body to the right, and then just take a nice big circle beyond, bring the shoulders beyond the wrists. Going all the way over to the left, send the hips back, and just kind of go through this a couple times. So really feeling the distribution of weight between the right and the left hand. Feeling the breath lengthen throughout the entire side body. Taking about one more circle, and then we'll just reverse that direction. So see if we can even feel something through the front of the hip, through the sides of the hip. Staying nice and solid with that breath. Take one more circle, and then we'll meet back in a neutral tabletop. Good, and then just untuck those toes, drop your belly, and then gaze just beyond your nose, not arching your back at all or your neck. Just look beyond the top of your yoga mat. On your exhale, tuck your tailbone, round your spine, push into the base of your palms, tuck your chin, let your head go. On your inhale, do the opposite. Release the heart between the shoulder blades, drop the belly, squeeze the legs apart from one another, maybe gaze beyond the nose, reach the crown of the head a little longer. And on your exhale, round the spine, tuck your tailbone, push the earth away. Let's take 3 more just like that. So inhale, drop your belly, gaze beyond your nose. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your tailbone, let your head go. Good, and really just feeling this traction with the base of the palms. Notice that as you push into it, the palms a little bit more, you get a little bit more puffiness in your upper back. Let's take this last one together. Inhale. Maybe look up to the ceiling this time as you pull the base of the palms towards the knees. And as you exhale, round your spine, let it go. And then just coming back to a neutral tabletop, we are going to extend that right leg back behind us. So first go and drop through the shoulders, looking down at the thumbs, point through your right toes, and then rotate your inner thigh of the right leg to the sky so that you keep a nice progression with that hip. Nice and solid, nice and squared. So if you notice that you're dumping into your left hip, find some elevation, but keep that right leg long. Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, crunch your knee in, but keep it right in line with your other knee. Flex your foot. Good, so hold it here. And then lift your knee out, kind of like, my partner always hates when I say this, but kind of like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. Squeeze your arms apart from one another. Flex through that right foot. Lift as high as you can without compromising the hip. So we want the hip to stay nice and low, not opening up out to the side. And we're going to just hold this for 5. Look at your thumbs for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go and drop the knee next to the left one. And then lift your left leg all the way up and back. Get nice and long. Rotate the inner thigh to the sky. Pull your lower belly in and find space in that right hip. So gazing down at your thumb, grip into your fingertips. Get a little bit longer through that left side. And then just crunch your knee in. Let it hover next to your right leg. Flex your foot. And on your inhale, lift all the way up. So you're squeezing your right knee down. You're looking down in between your thumbs. You're lifting your leg as high as you can without opening up the hip or stacking it. Good, and then we're just gonna hold it here for 5. Squeeze that glute for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop that left leg down. Shake it out, wiggle those hips. We're gonna come right back into the right leg. So inhale, just lift your right leg out to the side. Feel that solid breath. Push into your palms. Keep a little baby bend in that right elbow because you're gonna lift your left hand kind of like a goalpost as you hover in this shape. So squeeze your left elbow back. Look down at your right thumb. Lift your right knee up to the sky. Keep your right hip down. Let's hold this for 5, for 4. Pull your lower belly in for 3, 2, and then extend both arm and leg to straight. Drop your hand, drop your leg. Take an inhale to lift your left side. Flex through your left foot. Good, so if you're feeling good here, squeeze that right elbow back. Face your palm down towards the floor. Spread through the fingertips. Push into the right hip. Hold it all up for 5, for 4. Squeeze, breathe, and smile. And reach that right arm all the way forward, the left arm back. Drop your right hand, drop your left hand, wiggle side to side, shake that out. Good, good, good. And then we're gonna walk our hands all the way to the top of the mat. We'll drop our hips nice and low so we can tuck our toes, and then lift your knees, lift your hips, send your body into a downward facing dog. Set yourself up the way you like it. So really bend one knee and then the other. Then just noticing how far down or up that stretch or that movement, that sensation goes. Good. Take one more moment to just kind of pedal out those feet. Whether you've had a long day or you're just getting started, let's do this. Come into your downward facing dog. All right, so like I said, we're gonna go through these functional sun salutations. They're a little bit different, but I hope they feel awesome for you. I really, really love them. Let's take an inhale to prepare. Exhale to let it go. And actually, before we begin, we're gonna lift up through the heels like a ballerina. So notice when you lift the heels, the shoulders wanna go forward. It's totally cool, but we're gonna send the hips up to the sky, so push into the base of the palms. See if you can even activate through the triceps. So you're trying to pull your mat apart, letting your head go, pull your hips up higher, take a breath, and on your exhale, release the tension, release the heels, shake your head. Let's do that 2 more times. So inhale, lift your heels, send your hips up to the sky. So notice if you can push your hips higher. Even think about tilting your hip forward as you send your sits bones all the way to the sky. Hold it for 3. Lift your kneecaps for 2 and 1. Just let your heels go. Let your head go. Maybe replace your hands. Last one. Big inhale. Lift up onto those tippy toes. Send your hips up high so chest goes towards the knees. Squeeze your arms apart. Push into your middle finger, your index finger. Grip your pinkies. Exhale, let it go. Beautiful. We're gonna lift that right leg, maybe just an inch, maybe all the way up into a 3-legged dog. So point your toes wherever you are. Get long through that left and right side body. Take your inhale, and on your exhale, you're gonna step your foot outside your right hand. So we'll come up onto the fingertips so that you can pull those collarbones forward, and then maybe just come onto the tippy toes, shift forward and back. Beautiful. And then just come back to your lunge with your fingertips on the floor. Bend your left knee, and then step your left foot outside your left hand so you're in this active squat. Hips stay as low as they want to. Palms roll up towards the sky, and then the hips pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2. On your exhale, straighten the legs, bring your hands to your heart. On your inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. And then folding down, maybe bend those knees, send the hips back, plant your palms down, lengthen your spine. Good, and then plant the palms all the way down. Step your left foot back, and then step your right foot back into a high plank pose. You can come down onto the knees if that feels better, but we're gonna take a full push-up. And now we're gonna drop onto the knees. We're gonna send the hips back, pull your forearms down, and then squeeze your chest between your hands. Stay low. Come onto the tippy toes. Find an upward facing dog. Yeah, and then just send your hips up high, find downward facing dog. Beautiful. So let's just move into the other side nice and slow together. Inhale as you lift that left leg high. Point your toes, get long through the side body. And then step your foot outside your left hand. Come onto those tippy toes, drop your hips, and just step forward and back. Say hello, legs. Let's do this. Come back to your center. Bend into your right knee. Step it outside your right hand. Get solid. Give me 5 pulses all the way down in your active squat. Good, and then connect back to your breath. On your exhale, straighten your legs, bring your hands to your heart. On your inhale, reach it all the way up. This time we're gonna reach forward into a flat back. And then once we're about halfway, we're gonna bend the knees, we're gonna let it go. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Bend your knees, plant your palms. Step your right foot back, step your left foot back. Meet me in a high plank, take your own push-up, whatever that looks like for you. And then drop your knees, drop your elbows and your forearms. Pull your body underneath the fence to come into an upward facing dog. Open the chest, send the hips high, take a downward facing dog. Good, so just take a breath to reset here. In your downward facing dog, letting your head go. And this time when we lift up that right leg, we're gonna lift up the left heel. So lift it nice and high on that left heel, point your right toes, and then keep that length, but drop your left heel, step your right foot outside your right hand. Come up onto those fingertips, take a big breath as you pull your chest forward, bend into your left knee, step forward, find your active squat. Give me 5 pulses. Good, and then on your exhale, straighten the legs, bring your hands to your heart. And on your inhale, reach it up. Flat back, reach as far away from you as you can. Bend those knees, plant your palms, lengthen your chest, straighten your legs. Good, and then bend back into the knees. Step your left foot back, step your right foot back, take a full push-up, and then drop down onto the knees. The elbows, hips go back, chest reaches forward, big breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting up through that left heel, point your toes, and then lift up through your right heel. Keep that length, but lower that right heel down. Step your left foot outside your left hand. Come up onto those pinky toes, fingertips, and then shift forward and back. Bend into your right knee. Step it outside your right hand. Stay low as you reach your arms forward. Connect with your breath. Connect with your power. Squeeze your legs apart from one another. And on your exhale, straighten your legs, hands to heart. On your inhale, reach it up. Come into that flat back to forward fold. Let it go. Lengthen your spine, lift your chest, plant your palms, step your right foot back, and step your left foot back. Take your full push-up, either on your toes or on your knees. And then we'll all drop to our knees, send our hips back, drop your forearms, pull your chest through. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Give yourself 3 breaths to reset, to reestablish any connection if you lost it. It's always there for you to come back to. And let your exhale go. Find space between your shoulder blades. All right, so we're gonna go through that 2 more times with 1 breath per movement. And when we inhale, we wanna think about reaching up to the sky, lengthening as you lift, and as you exhale, think about kind of folding into your space, exhaling through the effort. And most of all, if you get lost with it, just move with your body and get down with your movement. So inhale to tippy toes. We're gonna send the hips up high. We're gonna bend the knees, and then we're gonna hop or step, feet outside the hands. So you're already in your active squat. So you're gonna reach forward. You're gonna stay as low as you want to right now, right here. Take your inhale, and on your exhale, straighten your legs, hands to your heart. On your inhale, reach it up. Exhale, forward fold, bend those knees. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Bend back into the knees, plant the palms, hop or step to a high plank pose, and then take a full push-up. We're gonna lower back onto the knees. We're gonna drop the elbows, pull your chest through into an upward facing dog, or maybe just a baby cobra. Tucking the toes, finding your downward facing dog. Good, so last one all together. Inhale through the nose. Inhale to tippy toes, bend the knees, look forward, hop or step to the front of your mat into your active squat. So reach those palms out. Give me a couple pulses, and on your exhale, straighten the legs, hands to heart. On your inhale, reach it up. On your exhale, reach it down. Lengthen your spine, lift your chest, plant your palms, and then keep your knees bent. Hop or step to a high plank pose. Take a full push-up. Drop your knees, drop your forearms. Last time, pull your body through, upward facing dog, and then reset your spine, downward facing dog. We're gonna take 3 breaths, letting the head be heavy, letting the legs support the body, and letting the breath slow down. Good, so one more inhale, big exhale. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna lift the heels, and then we're just gonna slowly, imagine you've got something between your legs. You're trying to squeeze it, but they're not gonna move. You're still gonna stay about hip distance. Squeeze your knees together. Slowly begin to lower down the knees for 5. Send the heels back for 4. Arms stay straight. Knees are at a hover, and knees are all the way down. Find yourself in a tabletop, just like we began. Bring the tops of the hands onto the mat, tuck through the toes, and then you're gonna lean the hip back just enough to feel sensation, not trying to crank anything, just trying to say hello. Good, so take a few breaths, letting your neck be long. Taking a moment, a little soft bend in the elbows. Good, and then send the hips forward. Come back onto the hands. Sit back onto the heels, and we're just gonna roll that out. Lots of time on our hands, lots of pushing in yoga, so we wanna make sure to just do the opposite, right? I tell all my clients, when something hurts, how can you incorporate the opposite movement so that you have your body working with you and not against you? So we're gonna come back to our tabletop. All right, stacking everything up. We're gonna flex through that right foot and lift that knee as high as it wants to go. So let's do that again. So drop your knee down to the mat and then pull your lower belly in. Lift your knee up, flexing through the foot. So we really wanna activate through the back of the body without opening up through the hip. So keeping it nice and down. Push into your right hand, get nice and long. Even see if you can tuck through your chin. Good, and then we're just gonna hold that left arm all the way out. Keep a bend in that knee, and then bend your left arm so your left hand is reaching towards the sky, and your elbow is by your left temple. It should be wicked hard, but it should be attainable. See if you can lift that elbow, lift through your left hip for 3, for 2, and 1. Place your left hand down. Place your right hand down, shake that out, and then flex through your left foot, bend into your left knee. Good, and again, find some space in that right hip. So we're gonna keep this left foot flexed. Just make sure you've got those muscles turned on the back side of the body. Gazing down at your left thumb, reach your right arm forward, and then bend into your elbow. Try to keep your elbow by your temple. Squeeze it in nice and close. So your hand wants to go out. Your elbow wants to go in towards your temples. Hold it here for 3. Lift a little higher for 2. Pull your lower belly in and release. Next side. Let's go back to the right side. We won't do that arm thing again. Don't worry. Extend your right leg back. This time, reach your left arm forward, and then reach your left arm all the way back to the back of the room. Straighten through your right leg. So we got our left arm on the left side of the body, reaching back. We got our right toes behind us, lifting up through our leg. And then we're gonna open over to the left. We're gonna bend our knee. We're gonna grab onto that right foot, and we're gonna lift up through our right leg. So wrap that right elbow back. Taking a couple breaths here. If it's not available to hold onto the foot, then just keep bending that right knee, keep reaching with that right glute, and we're gonna hold here for 5. Stay solid with your breath for 4. Grip into your fingers. Take one more inhale. Gently release your foot. Extend your arm and your leg to straight. Gaze goes down. Hand and knee release. Nice job. Let's extend that left leg back, bending through your left knee. And then reaching your right arm all the way forward. Wrapping your right arm all the way back. Start to straighten through that left leg. Make sure you got everything activated here. You got a soft bend in that left elbow. Begin to bend back into your left leg. Open up to the right. Maybe stay here. Totally cool. Or grab onto the foot. Begin to push the foot into the hand. Find some space in the right side of that hip. Your gaze can be anywhere that supports you best. See if you can push that knee or lift that knee a little bit higher. Gripping into your hands like you're opening a jar of pickles, like the good kind. Take 2 more breaths. Yeah, lift that knee. Gently release your foot. Extend arm and leg to straight. And then drop your right hand, but hook your left knee behind your right this time. Opening up your feet to your ankles. Drop down onto your hips. You can always sit onto a pillow if this is a little bit too intense. Good, so your right knee is over. Our hands are just on our shins. And we're just gonna drop the left ear to the left shoulder. We're gonna tuck the chin. We're gonna drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Good, and then just try to find some movement, some sweet side to side with that neck. Letting your head go. Bringing your hands to your knees, and then just begin to hinge forward. Yeah, so that you just put a little bit more compression into that space. If that feels good, extend your arms all the way out, really working the sides of the hip today and for the next few days. So, get some love in right here, right now. I've never winked on my right side. I should practice that more often. I'm usually a left side winker. Walk those hands over to the left side. Allow your heart to melt. Give some love to the left and right side of your body. Take 3 more breaths. I'm just going to marvel at the space between the inhales, between the exhales, before and after everything else. Good, and then just walk the hands back to center. If you need to linger in your stretch longer, you're at home, so you can. But I'm gonna walk you all the way back up. Do your thing. Hands to your knees. Maybe lift up your knees as you lean back, and then we're gonna push into our hands, drop our right knee, extend our left leg out, and just kind of wiggle side to side. So we'll go straight into the second side. So lift up that left knee. Just kidding, lift up the right knee. Hook it behind your left knee, and then we're just gonna kind of slowly sit on down, holding onto the shins, opening up the chest, dropping the right ear down towards the right shoulder, tucking your chin. Good, and then just kind of going through a few circles. And as you go all the way back, try to keep activation through the front side of your neck. And maybe just kind of hang out there. So you're compressing. It's almost like you're tucking your chin before you let it go back. Yeah, really, really healthy for your spine and all those muscles. And just gently hinge at your hips. Rest your hands on your strong, awesome, capable knees. And then maybe just walk it all the way out if that's feeling good. It's really nice, just kind of bring some blood flow into that hip space. If that left leg is on top, you're going to walk the hands over to the right. And just kind of come back to your breath. Use these last few minutes to just check in with how you feel. Give yourself 1 or 2 more breaths. And eventually you'll walk those hands back to center unless you need more time. And then walking your hands all the way back to your knees. Thank you, knees. You're awesome. Give a second to just be with your body as you lean your hips back, bring your hands forward, come back into your tabletop. And we're just gonna start extending one leg at a time all the way back. And then we'll take one more down dog to reset. So hands all the way at the top. Drop your hips, lift your hips nice and high, downward facing dog. Maybe really pedal out those feet. Good, and then just nice and solid. Let's complete your exhale. Take a big inhale. Let it go. Gently dropping onto the knees, sitting onto your seat, bringing your hands to your heart if that's your jam. Acknowledge yourself and your practice. I'm excited to move with you tomorrow.